All right, Colleen, we have waited long enough. Please open the envelope.
Did it not feel a little bit of like watching the smoke come from the Vatican to decide the Pope? You know, it
and,
can
and,
take a
and, we,
while, right?
and there's white smoke. Who
Right.
is it? The great reveal.
This is exciting. So let's bring them in without any further ado and congratulate and wave the Canadian flag to Johnny Morris and Rachel Homan. Congratulations, you two.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Nice
Thank
to
you
see
so
you.
much.
How are you feeling? Rachel, you start.
Exciting. I mean, it's what every curler dreams of, is being nominated as a part of the Olympic team. Obviously, it's a little bit of a different circumstances. We're in a global pandemic and things played out differently, but we're so excited to be able to put that maple leaf on our back and do everything we can to best represent Canada in Beijing.
So John Morris, defending Olympic gold medalist in mixed doubles. What was it like for you? You're used to winning these championships on the ice. What kind of pins and needles were you on for the last little while, and how difficult was that process?
You know what? I remember I actually watched your show there with Ty, and I think he said it best when it's like it's out of our control. So, I think we all kind of had a nice, somewhat relaxing break, Christmas break. And then it was like, okay, well, there's no point sitting and dwelling on this, and because we're not hearing anything, none of the players really knew what was going on. So we had provincials and team curling to focus on, which was kind of a nice distraction. And my team was awesome with me there. And then it's not how you'd ever want to write it up. I think every competitor in that mixed doubles wanted to have a chance to win and compete. So that was unfortunate, and this isn't how you draw it up. But whenever you have the chance to put that maple leaf on and have a crack at going to the Olympics and represent your country, it's like you're getting called to duty, and it's one of the best calls in the world. It's an honor and a privilege, and I can't wait to go to battle again.
Now, of course, you both were at the last Olympics, and Rachel, you were in the 4-person event, and Johnny, you were in mixed doubles, and you were curling with Caitlin. But you guys have a long history of curling together in mixed doubles and winning together. Rachel, why don't you explain how this came to be and the journey all leading to this?
Sure. Yeah, we started curling together probably in 2015, I think, was our first event, and I don't really remember the conversation too much, but I think Johnny and I chatted over the phone, and I mean, we both have tremendous respect for each other. In our own 4-person teams, and just it was a new discipline, an opportunity to get more medals for Canada, and we obviously want to be the best we can in 4-person, but this new discipline is just so exciting and just new for curling, and so we thought we'd be a great duo getting together to see how far we could take it.
John, what does preparation look like between now and when you leave? I mean, there's probably a lot of Devin and I are jumping through hoops to be able to interview you guys there. So we can only imagine the hoops you guys are going through. What does practice look like? What are some of the hoops you got to jump through? How do you stay away from your germy kids?
Well, it has been a bit of a whirlwind the last day or so. So I think we're just going to try to get through this week. And, we have a lot to kind of some loose ends to tie up here right away. And then our plan is this, though. Rachel is coming with our mixed doubles national coach, Scott Pfeiffer, to Canmore here on Saturday. And then essentially from that point on, we're going to be pretty much, we have our own house. We're isolating from everyone, including our families. And we're just totally focused on training, on ice, off ice training, getting into a good place mentally, working on some things because, we're always trying to kind of perfect out there and get better. And so Rachel and I have already talked about some things we think we need to work on. And so it's going to be, to be honest with you, I love a training camp that's kind of like a week or two concentrated where you'd have no distractions and essentially just get her done. So there's no doubt in my mind we'll be 100% ready when we step on the ice in Beijing.
By the way, John, when Rachel tells you to sweep, we want to see you sweeping. Okay, none of that like wimpy sweeping. We want catch up to the rock fast, right, Rachel? Am I right?
Rachel's got 2 octaves. She's got like hard, which is like, okay, I know that she's kind of wants me to sweep, but then there's like a different yell when I know she's really legit. So sometimes I wait for that one, you know.
That yell comes out when John's about 15 feet away from the rock.
We'll be listening for that. I don't have to tell both of you about the pressure of wearing the maple leaf at the Olympics. Rachel, you were there. You know it all too well. What experiences, what learnings do you want to take from 4 years ago into these games?
I think, I mean, both of us, we know the pressure. We've been there, and at different levels, we've succeeded and then come up short. And so I think the experience is there, and what we learned, we're just taking all of that and focusing our training camp and making sure that we're sticking together, and keeping our bubble really tight. We just want to make sure that we're mentally 100% there. I think that's going to be key. Obviously, these are different circumstances, and we're going to need all the support we can to get together here quickly and be at our best. And we're excited to do that. And we know we can. So we're bubble wrapping ourselves and training as hard as we can.
How is that? Does it come together faster, John, knowing, you know, you and Rachel have curled together before, and you've known each other forever, because Earl was coaching Rachel when she was like 1 year old, your dad. When was the first time you met her, and how far back does this relationship go?
Well, I hope you have that. I think Rachel has a picture, because I used to play with Rachel's brother actually in like Little Rocks, and we played out of the RCMP curling club, and Rachel was a little rink rat around there. She was, we were, I think, 10 or 12 years old, and Rachel was running around, and she didn't want to have anything to do with the curling rink back then. But, that's when I think she was 1 or 2 when I met her, and we've been kind of family friends ever since. I really enjoyed playing with her brother. We had a lot in common. We'd always play cards on the road. And then, through that relationship, our families really kind of, grew together. And that's why when we when mixed doubles was becoming an Olympic sport, when you can play with someone you've known for so long, yes, it sounds like sometimes, you're at each other a little bit, but that's just because we're tight. And I'd much rather that and make a lot of shots than kind of have nothing going on out there from a communication standpoint and not making too many shots. So I think we got a really awesome dynamic. It goes back a long way, and it would sure be special. We have a really big Ottawa Valley connection there, and it should be special to be able to bring some hardware back there back to home.
Oh my
nice.
goodness.
That's so cute.
That's
Mark. You have to pay for it though, handsomely.
Fans, Rachel and Johnny, were making a lot of wondering when you were going to find out, and how a lot of Canadians are concerned about your prep time and the team finding out. It's less than 3 weeks from that first game against Great Britain. How prepared do you feel? What do you say to the fans who've been clamoring for days now, going, let our team know so they're prepared? What do you say to them about preparation?
Yeah, I think it wouldn't have played out too much differently had the trials happened. I mean, the trials happened right after Christmas, and then almost everybody was in their 4-person provincials, and then right after that, you go into a training camp, and so we feel like we're right where we need to be. Obviously, we had to quickly tie up some family stuff to make sure that everything's taken care of on the home front. John and I both have 2 little ones we got to make sure are taken care of. But we've tied that up, and we have such supportive family and friends that it just makes it that much easier to get together for this next couple of weeks to train together and do exactly what we need to do to get ready for Beijing.
And Rachel, what about that 4-person team? Because there was the caveat of you going to the Scotties, that if you were named to the Olympic mixed doubles, that Team Homan wouldn't be going to the Scotties. And I guess, John, same thing for you after Rachel finishes about the Brier, because technically when you're in the Olympics, they don't let you play in the Brier too. But anyhow, go ahead, Rachel. What happens now for Team Ontario?
Yeah, I think there's still some wrinkles to iron out in the Scotties. I know that there's still some things in the air as to dates and if that can go ahead. And so we're just kind of another situation where we have to see that we have to make sure that the safety of everybody involved and that the integrity of the event can happen. And so I think Curling Canada is working hard behind the scenes to make that happen. And once the details come out, then we can kind of see where things lie and go from there. But for now, we're just going to focus on our training here coming up and making sure we're putting everything into our mixed doubles team.
So it's not an automatic that Team Duncan's going to the Scotties?
I think that there's still a lot of unknowns for the national championship right now.
I can tell you one thing, Colleen. Team Kui will be ready to rock it in Lethbridge, and I'm going to be there bringing the heat at second. So how does that sound?
That sounds like a exclamation point at the end.
There we go. Yeah.
Awesome.
For the Briar.
We'll all be in Beijing. We're not far now. And of course, we're going to be live with you guys tonight, hearing from all of the fans, maybe some closing thoughts because you're going from 0 to 100 and you're going back to the Olympics. Some closing thoughts from the both of you. Rachel, you can take it away.
Sure. I mean, we got the phone call, and it's the phone call that everyone dreams of, and it's just something that you can't prepare for, but you try and prepare your whole life for this moment, and that's what John and I have done. And we feel like we're in a really great spot, and we're excited to put the maple leaf on, and we want to hear lots of cheers from back home and lots of support, and we're going to do everything we can and put everything we have into winning every game over there.
Great stuff. Johnny, closing words for you.
You know what? We have an outstanding team with Scotty Pfeiffer and Paul Webster right by our side every step. They're wonderful humans, and they're going to make our lives easy. And we got a great crew with you guys. I think you guys are going there. We'll be with you every step of the way. And although it's a different Olympics, being over in China with middle of a pandemic, we're quite excited. We think it's going to be awesome. We're hoping the Canadians are going to set their alarm clock for 3 a.m. and enjoy this journey with us, just like I always did when I was watching the Olympics when I was a kid. So really excited about it, and can't wait to get on the plane.